Hello everyone and welcome back to some more viewer-submitted games in StarCraft 2. Today we're starting off with a Protoss versus Zerg played in a Diamond League, so that means I get to be a little bit critical. I mean, at least I assume if you're in Diamond League, you know what you're doing, right? Anyways, we're spotting right here on the map a moon dance, and in the top left-hand corner... What? Okay, there's absolutely no reason not to go for a low-ground wall-off here as Protoss. Anyways, spotting right here in the top left-hand corner, playing with the red Protoss pieces in Diamond League. I just want to reiterate, this is Diamond League. I know there's going to be someone in the comment section that will say something along the lines of, look, there's no way this is... It's Diamond League. Playing with the red Protoss probes, we have Berserk. His opponent in the opposite corner with a very interesting clan decal with the blue Zerg drones. We're looking at Wiz's main hatchery. Okay, I was thinking the only reason to go for a high ground wall-off would be if you want to go for a fort first. That is a very popular strategy, it seems, on the ladder. However, Berserk is gonna go for a gateway over here into double gas. Yeah, I'm already lost. I already don't know what's going on. Is the Zerg at the very least playing a normal build? Nope. That is a 17 hatch, I believe, into like a 17 pool? At the very least a 17 pool. When are we gonna take the gas geyser here, Wiz? I mean, for Zerg, it doesn't matter all too much, because Zerg is relatively flexible, right? If you have a little bit of money in the early game, I guess you can add on an extra queen. If you have a little bit of gas, okay, maybe you shouldn't have taken that gas so quick, but worst case scenario, maybe morph in an extra Ravager. It's relatively manageable. Protoss, however, is very rigid with their early game strategies, and Berserk is already trying to reinvent the wheel. What is... Huh? So we're going for a Zealot as well. What is he using all of this gas on? That's my main question. He's mining 2 and 2 in gas, so he seems to have a plan. Either that or he likes, you know, the aesthetic look right here of having 2 probes going back and forth rather than 3. I'm not 100% sure. So... Why did we take 2 assimilators? To make one... We make the Twilight Council with like 220 gas in the bank? After going for 2 additional gateways on the low ground, after opening up with a Zealot? Okay, then. Yeah, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I do not know what we're going to be using all that gas on. Does he pull out of gas as well? No. So he could go for Blink, maybe? I don't know exactly how much gas income you need in order to go, but you need more than this. It makes no sense. Anyways, Zerg in the meantime has scouted that the opponent doesn't have a natural expansion, so he's like, you know what I need? A 3rd hatchery. Also, strategically, not the best choice. Eventually, though, there is a gas geyser in the main base. Would have liked to see that one a little bit quicker, mostly because we do need some sort of Zergling speed or maybe even a Roach Warren, right? In order to deal with that early game pressure that Protoss is going to be throwing at him. Because if you scout that your opponent is not going for an expansion, you can certainly expect some... Charge! Why charge? Charge indicates that we're going to be making Zealots. Zealots are 100 minerals each. They don't cost any gas. There is a pylon over here on the right side of the map. There's a couple of Zerglings at the front right now too that scout a lot of gateways. This should be a clear indicator for Wiz that he needs to get his defense going. Okay, Wiz, not entirely sure about double gas here. At least make a Roach Warren then. Please make a Roach Warren. Wiz, do anything. Or a Baneling Nest. I would be okay with a Baneling Nest too. I don't know, guys. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. Anytime I do a viewer-submitted game and it's a Diamond League match, there's always someone in the comment section that gets upset at me for saying it's a Diamond League. Both players were in Diamond League on the loading screen of this replay, okay? I don't know what you want me to do. There's the Roach Warren coming up. Dark Shrine on the back of it too. So on one base, we've got 4 gateways, which is fine. Twilight Council already a little bit of a stretch, but I think if you're gonna go for Zealots, it's manageable. I guess we can warp in 4 Dark Templar later. Maybe that explains the gas, but I do think there's a little bit of optimization. Anyways, the Zealots might just be enough, however. I mean, it's a viewer-submitted game, so there's no way it's gonna end with just the early game cheese, right? I don't think that's gonna be the ending for this match. Because at that point, Mutluses would not be selecting this replay for me to go ahead and cast. 10 Roaches, by the way, are coming up right now. I don't know where the... Okay, the Roach Warren was built inside of the main base. Zealots, however, are already slicing away at it. Spinecrawler over here, providing surface area for the Queen, actually, which is quite sweet. Okay. That base in the bottom right-hand corner, still unscouted actually by the Protoss. So even though I was criticizing it, I mean, he sees a little bit of creep there, but He's probably playing this game with, like, sunglasses on, or, you know, at the very least, that would explain a lot. He doesn't see exactly what's going on so far in this match anyway, so I think we should be okay. The main problem at this point, though, for our Zerg is that he does not have any force to, well, deal with this, right? Dark Templar are going to be coming out very soon. There's no Spore Crawlers, there's no Lair, there's, of course, also no Overseer, so he doesn't have any detection. Roach Warren is dead. Spawning Pool is going to be dead as well. Fun fact, actually, in order to go for a Spore Crawler or a Lair, you need to have a spawning pool. So he doesn't have a spawning pool, and he cannot start up any form of detection whatsoever. Dark Templar are being warped in right now, and that is GG. How is that not GG? There is no form of detection for the Zerg. There's no Lair. There's no spawning pool. You gotta target that one. That is the spawning pool right over there. Berserk, you should also really send a couple of your Dark Templar over there to the bottom right corner. I don't think he noticed it. No, he just hasn't seen. He just has not noticed. Now, obviously, you can use the Dark Templar aggressively, but you can also warp them in defensively, too. No, just make a couple Dark Templar. Put them here in the wall off. Oh, no, he's trying to wall it with a structure. Why would you wall it with a structure where you can just send a couple DTs in? Okay, he is warping in a few Dark Templar right now inside of the main base. Probe has apparently decided to move on over there. Okay, spawning pool is being hit right now. There is no detection for the Zerg. There is no way that this game is gonna last another minute, right? Okay, Dark Templar are gonna kill everything here. Spawning pool number 2 dies as well, but he did see... Oh my god, he did start a lair. If this game goes on, because of the fact that Berserk has not considered the fact that there is a base in the bottom right-hand corner, despite the fact that there's creep there, that he has seen... Oh no, he's looking for other bases. Oh no, Berserk. Berserk, no. I feel bad. I mean, only a little bit. Very, very small amount of bad. In the meantime, by the way, those roaches in the main base, for some reason, they've been dealing a lot of damage. Another Nexus has just now started up in the top right-hand corner as well, so that explains why that probe was in that area. Yeah, both players have taken a lot of losses, but there is still no detection available here for the Zerg. But he does have a base that's mining in the bottom right-hand corner that could have gotten absolutely destroyed if one Dark Templar headed on over in this direction. Now he's finally gonna see it. Lair is not done yet, but, well, it finishes now. Okay, Overseer is coming up. The Roaches are coming up as well. That Overseer needs to be here, man. I would have loved to see that guy morphed into... Anyways, doesn't really matter all too much. There's energy available here on the Queen. Would love to see a transfusion. Brenda? Brenda, there you go. Let's go, Brenda. Ooh, it's still so close. Oh my god. Oh my god. 7 HP. 7 HP on the Lair. It's burning, but this is not a Terran structure, okay? This is just a Zerg player pretending to be a Terran. It doesn't burn down. Zerg structures actually heal up. It's reverse burn somehow. Anyways. That makes this kind of manageable, actually, for Wiz. The fact that the Protoss did not consider that there was a pocket phase on Moondance makes this game sort of playable here for Wiz. Oh, no. Okay, so now what? So, Berserk is going for all the dirty strats, right? This is in the Grand Protoss Book of Cheese. This is something that all Protoss players get a free copy of when they first install the game. It's in PDF format, but Berserk definitely printed it out and put it on his nightstand. He opened up to page 74 and he found out, you know what? After your early game cheese fails, make a proxy nexus somewhere on the map. Because Zerg players below Master League don't scout. I mean, maybe they'll scout the main base, maybe they'll scout the neutral, but they don't scout the map. This is an APM issue, right? So it's one of those things where you have to send a Zergling or something along those lines around the map. There is a very good chance that Wiz at this point is not aware of the fact that there is actually a second Nexus. I mean, he's been seeing a bunch of warp-ins, but that could have easily come out of the structures and the income right here in the main base. So I don't think there's really that much of a tell for him just yet, but I would have loved to see, like, the Overseer drop a little changeling to go around the map and scout, right? Oh my god, what just... Hold up. Sorry, I'm going back. Oh, 1 Dark Templar. 2 Dark Templar, apparently. YOLO'd their way towards the bottom right corner, I see. Overseer. Oh, no. Oh, there was an Overseer. Oh, that's so sad. Anyways, he still has detection. He's got a new base. I think he'll be fine. He can just transfer the drones over there. This is while he's microing on the other side of the map, though. One hero over here, wearing a cape. Now he's dead, but at least he died wearing a cape, so he's already cooler than most of us. I think Wiz thinks at this point that he's got this one in the bag. Because he assumes that this is the main base here of the Protoss. I mean, I guess it technically is, but there is a new expansion made in the bottom, or in the top right rather, and that's gonna give him quite a bit of income. Dark Templar here on the left side of the map too. Honestly, the main difference between like high plat and low diamond is that you can see that these guys don't use the all army hotkey anymore. Like that seems to be the main deciding factor. If you're currently in Platinum League or below, and you want to improve, it's time, okay? It's time to go into the settings. Here, I'll show you actually. You go into the settings, you go to options, you go to hotkeys, you go to global, you go to control groups, I think. Is it control groups? No, it's not. It's unit management, I think. Yes. Unit management, you scroll down to select army units, and then you unbind the hotkey and you click accept. Now, as you may have noticed, I do have it bound because I actually think it's quite helpful once you get used to being able to hotkey your army. But it's such a massive help once you jump the hurdle, man. It's... I think a lot of games actually are lost because of players just using the all army hotkey a little bit too liberally. It is very helpful, but you need to learn how to use it, okay? It's a power that you need to learn how to handle. Early on, it could be helpful when you first get started, but when you're in like the mid-game of the leagues, right? When you're trying to progress on the ladder, you really want to be able to send units around the map and scout everywhere. But you can see that these guys are doing a great job at exactly that. I mean, at this point, I guess there's nothing to hotkey here for Berserk at all, because he's got no units. He's going for Stargates right now. Really? I would have thought at this point that Berserk would go for Void Rays. But this is an honorable cheeser, okay? There's no Void Rays here. I mean, Dark Templar maybe not as honorable, but I'll accept it. I think it's fine. Why would you go Phoenixes right now, though? Phoenixes are very much so an excellent unit for pushing the game forward, for forcing the game to go a little bit longer. But other than that, they don't really... Like, they don't really win games by themselves, if that makes any sense. Anyhow, Wiz, you should realize at this point that your opponent has not been revealed, right? Yeah, okay, I think he realizes it. Okay, he's gonna check the pocket base, because it would be silly, right? Imagine that that base is up and running for like 10 minutes and you don't realize it. That would be embarrassing. Okay, he scouts the pocket base as well, goes very deep. Maybe there's a Nexus hiding over there. You should check a little bit further, Wiz. What if there's a Nexus behind the mineral line, bro? Okay, fine. We're just gonna settle for killing some more structures, but we need to send something around the map, Wiz. Wiz? Wiz, please. Oh. Just one Zergling, or one group of Zerglings looking around, scouting and all that. Ooh, okay, so Berserk is going for a Brute War strategy, where we're going Dark Templar Corsair. I guess the Phoenixes are the Corsairs and the Dark Templar are gonna be the Dark Templar. Which, you know what, actually can work out quite well. If you can shoot down all of the Overseers, then suddenly the Dark Templar can finish everything else off. Not a terrible idea at all. Obviously, StarCraft 2 damage numbers, though, are very different, so it doesn't work out as cleanly here. He's looking around the map. We're not splitting up our units, which is a bit of a shame. Come on, Wiz, you got the right call. Keep it moving, man. Okay, yes. Yes! Multiple scouts. Although I don't know where this guy is going. Why are we going in the same direction as the Roaches? I don't know. One thing actually Wiz hasn't found out about yet, it seems to be... Oh, Zerglings! Zerglings, look! He scouted something on the minimap. He hasn't found out about the Shift Q command, because he's not using a whole lot of that, but Dark Templar are coming up once again on the right side of the map. Now suddenly Wiz's heart will sink, because he finds that there is a Nexus in the top right-hand corner, and there is in general, yeah, not a whole lot that he can do about it right now. If he actually sends his Roaches in that direction, the Phoenixes will kill the Overseer, and then the Dark Templar can kill everything else. Right? Should be pretty sick. Spire starts up here for the Zerg player. Okay. We do have a Spore Crawler. Interesting position on that one. Not sure if I agree with that position, but... Both players actually have quite a bit of money in the bank. That said, though, Wiz with... Yeah, if you can make like 9 Mutas here, maybe 10 Mutas all at once, that would be amazing. Okay. No attack move on the Roaches. So the strategy here is in full effect. Yeah, so the damage points in StarCraft 2 are a little... yeah, that in theory, the theory was great, Berserk. I loved everything about the theory. Yeah, the actual execution could be worked on. Okay, Berserk actually hits GG on the keyboard. I don't think there would be a whole lot he could do against a dozen mutas here anyways. But it's indeed gonna be Wiz who obtains the victory. I mean, theoretically, I guess he could use the Phoenixes to kill all of the mutas, but let's be real, that probably wouldn't happen. Our second game for today, we find ourselves on the map a Waterfall. It's time for a Platinum League match of Terran versus Protoss, where our Terran player is starting off with a proxy command center. With the red SCVs, we are looking at Dokkol's main command center. His opponent in the opposite corner, currently completely unaware of this, with the blue Protoss pieces, he goes by the name of This Binary U. This Binary U decides to... okay, fine. This is Platinum League. I'm not going to be as critical here. He has scouted on the other side of the map, I believe, with a probe. Yeah, so he ended up losing the probe because it was trapped right there instead of the opponent's main base. But he did see the lack of, like, stuff, just in general. Is he going to be able to figure out that it's indeed going to be a quick engineering bay? I've casted a lot of viewer games over the years. This is a strategy I've only ever seen work in the absolute lowest of leagues in StarCraft 2. But Dokkol, he's going for I think a planetary fortress rush in Platinum League. And this actually looks like a rather refined one as well. He's got the correct amount of resources. He finishes up the engineering bay at a reasonable time. There is a Stalker, however, but he also loaded up the one SCV inside of that command center. So he can actually... oh no, you do have to land it. He could have blocked it. If he would have blocked that, that would have been massive. Unload the SCV, morph into a planetary. Yes, there it is. So the SCV is just here to give its life. Yeah, it kind of sucks for that SCV, but either you repair the planetary, or you, I guess, sacrifice yourself, which kind of sucks, but I don't think there's enough firepower, is there? Marines are coming across the map as well. I actually really do like this. Normally, this build does not work because of the fact that the Stalker could essentially block that command center from landing for a really, really long time. But now that it's landed in the opponent's main base... what exactly are you going to do against the planetary fortress morphing in? Guess what? It's done. You can make more SCVs here as well to go back to repairing. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. This is actually one of my favorite builds. This is like one of my guilty pleasure builds, okay? I don't think I'm supposed to like this, but I do, okay? What are you going to do about it? Yeah, I think this is fun. I don't think anyone's ever made this work at a high level. But it certainly seems to be rather effective here. So this binary has nothing to do with it. Now, obviously, the planetary fortress has a maximum amount of range. So it's not going to be able to fire at the Nexus, for example. It just can't reach it. Plus, planetary fortresses, unlike orbital commands and command centers, cannot fly. So I don't think feeding Stalkers into the machine here is what you want to do. Okay, well, it is what this binary wants to use. So I guess it's fine, but... yeah, I think going for the counterattack is actually a better choice. Now, oftentimes, with lower league ones, where I've seen this build, they will go for a planetary fortress in the main base too. Dokkol is not doing any of that. So imagine if those... how many Stalkers died so far? Yeah, imagine if 6 Stalkers were currently on the other side of the map. This could create a very, very chaotic game. The thing is, though, binary right now is... he's thinking, right? He's thinking. And that's not what you want to be doing, man, as a StarCraft player. Thinking while in a game is a mistake. You want to learn from mistakes in replays so you know what to do next time. But you can see that the APM is dwindling as soon as players start thinking. I know this very well, okay? Thinking we do outside of the game, not inside of the game. Okay, maybe there are some players out there that are good at thinking, you know, while playing. But not me. I can tell you that much. Definitely not me. Anyways, Factory, just about to finish up here as well for Dokkol, who is trying to solve, I think, the fact that he's out of range here of that Nexus. It's a problem, but you know what? Problems have solutions. Don't know why, but it's fair. There you go. Yeah, we're repositioning. That spot, right over here. Stalkers, 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 what are you guys doing? So he's going for a robo facility right now. Oftentimes, actually, when you're in a weird situation in StarCraft 2 and you are forced to think, in my experience, sending all your stuff towards the other side of the map is usually a pretty good option. The only time it's not a good option is if you're just about to lose the game. Most of the time, however, in a weird situation, you should at the very least consider it, right? Like your mental checklist, you should at the very least consider moving everything across the map. So he's gonna go for Immortals. The plan is to still break this. He has seen the factory now, so... Okay. Shield battery's coming up too. Battery overcharge together with Immortals would be amazing. Don't know why he's trying to protect the front here. I guess he's really... Well, you know what? He might be right. He hasn't scouted in a while, but there's actually a pretty healthy chunk of Terran units right now moving through the center of the map too. So Immortals in the main base, Stalkers in the natural. Problem is, now there's a siege tank available as well. He needs to get here. That shield battery needs to be targeted as well. Okay. Overcharge, overcharge, overcharge. Right away, overcharge. Okay, not needed yet. Patience, patience, not bad. I've just seen a lot of those shield batteries die before battery overcharge is ever activated. He's got plenty of energy right now on the Nexus. Because he's got full energy on the Nexus. But I guess, you know what, as long as he clears out the tank, everything is a-okay. Another tank available right now on the low ground as well. There was a shield battery here once upon a time, but I think it just now got gunned down. Immortal in the main base. Okay, sideways guns right there. Reinforcements, though, I think are gonna be enough here. Yeah, I think it should be okay. Micro the Immortal, please. Why are we microing the Stalkers? Oh, no! What? That was some of the weirdest unit control I've seen in a while, but Binary keeps it alive. Okay. Siege tank number 2, available right now inside of the opponent's main base. Planetary Fortress just sort of looking at the sky. SCV sleeping on the job as well. Battery overcharge. Can we please do a battery overcharge? No? I mean, he already used it. Okay, he actually already used it. It's now on cooldown. I don't know exactly where. Did he use it earlier in the main base? Maybe he did. Maybe he used it. I'm gonna go back. Hold up. Where did that planetary... Or where did that battery overcharge get used? Did he use it right here? Don't tell me you use battery overcharge. Okay, yeah. Don't think that was ideal. Anyways, fast forwarding here a little bit. Siege tank number 2 here is gonna get killed as well. That explains the lack of planetary killing right now, because a battery overcharge would have certainly helped out in that department. But fair enough. Terran's gonna be forced to restart this here once again. SCVs are having a little bit of a repair party. You love to see it. In the meantime, though, Dokko has made the natural expansion. He secured it. He's now gonna go for additional production. He's gonna need a couple supply depots, but you know what? Everything at its time. Yeah, okay. There you go. When you hear your supply blocked, that's the perfect moment to start up additional supply depots. Everybody knows it. Okay, we have 4 Immortals now. We've got battery overcharge. There you go. I mean, we do kind of want to just attack move here, but eventually this will also work. I don't think you want to be target firing necessarily, but hey, it ended up working out. Little bits of SCV right there on the low ground. Love to see it. Binary U cleans it up and actually finds themselves in a pretty good position here, all things considered. We just need to be on top of the production, and it's really time for us to send units across. Let's go Observer, let's go Prism, let's go fight stuff. Okay, we're gonna go for a Robo Bay as well. Very dangerous structure at this MMR. Mostly because, well, it allows you access to 2 units, right? It allows you access to the Colossus. Don't mind that one. I think Colossi are excellent. But I've also seen a lot of players blowing up their own units with Disruptors, which I do not recommend. Believe it or not, bad call. Now, this does kind of feel like a Disruptor game. Especially with the amount of Siege Tanks and Marauders right now, it would be a good choice, assuming the micro is correct. We did see some micro here earlier. Some of it was a little shaky, but, I mean, that was micro. Okay, we're gonna just march up the ramp. Sentries, overrated. War Prisms, overrated. Observers, guess what? Also, overrated. We feed the machine some more. You love to see it. Alright, Dokko. What's the plan now? What are we gonna do? So he's scouting. Very nice, by the way. Love to see that.
Research.
He sees the Nexus here on the left side. That's excellent. Marauders are gonna have their concussive shells available as well. Third CC finishes up. Fourth CC already about to finish up as well. Double Colossus. Thank God. It's Colossus together with Blink. We've got the extended thermal lens coming up too inside of the Robo facility after, for some reason, we go for the speed improvement. Fair enough. That observer, dude. It's going to be a Formula 1 car. Pretty sick, going so fast, especially in the corners. Putting a lot of G's, but... Hey, by the way, if you have an awesome game of StarCraft 2 that you've recently played, you can submit it to replays at LowkoTV. Just attach the .sc2 replay file to the email. And maybe I'll be casting your game here in the future. Now, it is Motlesses who watches all of the games that are being sent over and then selects the best ones for me to go ahead and cast. So that way, I'm only casting the very best of the very best. I'm casting the cream of the crop. This one over here, for example. Absolute cream of the crop. But if you have a sick game, please feel free to send it over. Because even though I can turn into a bit of a jerk during some of these casts, okay? It's all good-natured, right? And actually, some people... I've noticed this. Maybe this is... maybe it's not as weird as I thought it was, but I've noticed a lot of people that actually really enjoy it when I make fun of their games. Like, I've had people literally reach out to me. They're like, Lowko, what if I give you $50 and you make fun of my game? I don't know. You know, yeah. Just know what you sign up for is what I'm saying, okay? This series, actually, this video so far, I think I've been rather nice. But there are a couple in the past where I did not turn out to be as friendly anymore by the end. Can we please make a sentry? Just one. Like, sentry's a real good unit, man. Guardian Shield is one of the absolute best abilities in the game that nobody talks about because it's assumed. Oh, no. Okay, I was gonna say, if you walk into that Terran meat grinder one more time, I'm gonna flip my desk. Okay, I'm not gonna flip my desk because it's a lot of expensive equipment. But also, I would probably lose this recording. Oh no. Why are we... Okay, you know what? That's possible. Questionable, but possible. Yeah, okay, you know what? I wasn't entirely sure about that. These upgrades are also all over the place. +1 is about to finish up right here for the Terran units. Protoss actually doing a similar thing on the other side of the map. Going Colossi again. Do you think we're going to see a single sentry in this whole series? In this whole game? I would really like to see one. Or 2. Or you know what? Hell, 3. Let's go with 3 sentries. I know, crazy days. Guardian Shield. Units that are inside of it take less damage from ranged units. AKA literally every single Terran unit that attacks. Other than SCVs, I suppose. Mules can't attack, so they don't count. I always wondered about that. So mules do not have an attack option. Do you think that's by design, or do you think it's an oversight? That at some point they were like, don't need it, forgot about it, don't care. It's now a feature. We know that much, but... Maybe some of the developers in StarCraft 2 thought that there were gonna be mule all-ins. But they don't even have 1 damage. It's a bit weird. Like, they're a massive machine. You'd imagine they would deal at least 1 damage, but not the case. Anyhow, we have a Centralist army once again going across, but we do have another spellcaster. High Templar here are going to be pretty good. In the meantime, though, matter of fact, Drop is headed across the map as well. This command center is not going to happen. He's trying to position his High Templar in such a way that he can storm the hell out of any army that comes stimming down. Problem is, the majority of that Terran army is currently on the other side of the map, absolutely clearing out the main base. Especially if they were to use Stimpaks. But these are honorable Terran units. They don't use Stimpaks, okay? Never mind, I guess, though, because the Protoss army has already moved up. On the other side, Siege Tank does not finish off those High Templars. Stimpaks are finally being used instead of the main base. Storm over here as well. Colossus trying its very best to get some work done here as well. I don't think Doko has enough to clean all of this up. Especially if a couple more reinforcements show up. I don't think there's going to be enough. And that means that this binary U, even without any sentries, is going to be able to break this position here on the low ground. He killed, I think, 1 command center over there. And he's forcing the Terran to retreat back to their quadrant here in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay. Whatever's left over, 1 Marauder with red hit points. It's going to be coming back home here as well, although... if Protoss has any say in the matter, he will definitely feedback this, right? Feedback, Stalkers? There you go. No feedbacks. There you go. Love to see it. We need to set a rapid fire, by the way, Mr. Binary. Or Miss Binary, or whatever. If you could please set up rapid fire on the High Templar, that would be very, very helpful. Because, yeah, that feedbacking seemed rather slow. As Terran, you probably don't want to be setting up rapid fire for your spells, like for example Stimpack. I noticed from personal experience, I've tried rapid firing Stimpack in the past. It works about as well as you'd imagine. AKA not at all. Okay, so we're once again loading our units into the planes. Where are we gonna be sending them this time around? Okay, I'm glad we're repairing at least some of them back up to full. No. You forgot the red HP one. Really? God, this is the slowest doom drop I've ever seen happen. Apparently everybody in this Terran army needed to be up to speed with exactly what the plan of this doom drop was going to be like, but Protoss in the meantime has been warping in a couple units here and there. He's actually been spending his money rather well. Not on sentries, of course. No sentries. Sentries, pff, they don't even deal damage, they just tickle. Why would you? Okay, we are doing a repair dance over here. Good. That does, yeah, slow all of this down a lot. There's not enough planes for everybody, so some of you are gonna have to walk. So this is the cavalry right over here. This is the nobility. They are flown across the map! Stalkers? What? Oh my god, that was crazy. How did we... well, you know what? If we're not gonna warp in a lot of units here, are we just gonna unload? There's siege tanks in the mix as well. Siege those bad boys up. Stimpaks are activated already too. We're only unloading about half of our armies up to this point, but I think the rest is gonna be joining the battlefield here very shortly. At the same time, Protoss right now thinking about going for a counterattack towards the opponent's natural, but those other bio units that we saw moving across the map, they have shown up over at the third base. Is this gonna turn into a full-on base race? No, it's not, because a recall was used right here on the low ground. Binary is gonna try and defend this with, ooh, a relatively small army. Moving into the tanks is a bad call. I mean, this area of the map has been dominated by Terran for more so than the Protoss. Does he have enough to break through all of this? I mean, he's trying to retarget right now. We have a lot of energy still available on one Templar, but I guess the all army hotkey is being used here. Protoss in the meantime, though, destroying the opponent's natural. Terran army on the left has cleaned the Protoss' third. Insane multitasking here, actually. This is a higher level game than the previous one we watched, isn't it? Honestly, a better game. Not exactly sure what happened there. Maybe it's a different server or something. In general, on the EU server, it seems the Diamond League is a little bit higher MMR. But anyways, this is honestly not that bad of a game at all. These guys are doing a really good job overall. I mean, you know, minus the sentry situation and a dozen other things, but still, it seems a faster game, if anything. Protoss armies, though, have come back home. Additional reinforcements just popped out of the robo facilities as well, and that one stalker is stuck. That's okay. That's okay. Cybercore is coming up. That's a new Cybercore. Terran, though, in the meantime, has been making use of the ability for their command centers to fly around. So, new orbital command taken here on the left side of the map. Mules are already returning resources back home, and this is going to give him a very nice economical boost. Dokkel still has a ton of gas in the bank, so he doesn't need any of that. But minerals, he's starving in right now, so going more Marines and Marauders right now. Don't bleed them out, no! He loses more to just a small group of Zealots and one Stalker. I mean, the Stalker did a little bit of damage too. That really sucks, though. That was a big chunk of his reinforcements. A lot of the army supply of Terran right now, though, is caught up in medevacs. There you go. Everybody gets a private plane. Enjoy. How much is still available here for Protoss? Well, he does still have 2 Immortals and a Colossus. Those Immortals and a Colossus that are gonna really help out. One of the issues right now, though, for this Binary is that he does not know about these bases. He does have an Observer. It does have speed, so that's nice, I guess. But he doesn't know about the bases. Income here, still heavily in favor. Look how fast. Oh my god. Step aside, Max Verstappen. Hamilton. Okay, never mind. They should consider using scans in Formula 1, apparently. That would be pretty hype. Yeah, so Protoss doesn't know. Protoss does not know. As we've already established, this level of play, players don't generally scout the map as efficiently. Shift queuing a unit around would be incredibly helpful. Doesn't take that much, but it always seems like a big burden. Okay. Binary, once again, decides to send an observer a little bit closer. Dokko looks at the army. He's like, you know what? I actually like this move here from Dokko. If you're on 2 bases, so has he checked these bases? I haven't seen him checking it. Assuming he checked these other bases, I don't mind this move, because he is getting way more income than his opponent. So sitting back, making a bit of an army, yeah, should be a-okay. At the 10-minute mark, these bases are going to be running low. At the 20-minute mark, they're basically out of resources. Well, I guess in this game, the natural and the main, we're all a little bit funky, but generally with a normal match, that's what you should expect. Observer here now scouts the base on the right side, and this binary does not beat around the bush. Immediately sends all of the units that he's got towards the right side of the map. That does leave the main base vulnerable, although one High Templar has been put in charge with defending. So, you know, should be easy. Should be a straightforward task. No planetary fortress over here, so the only planetary we made was inside of the opponent's main base. These SCVs are getting absolutely destroyed. Command center may actually also end up going down, since there's a couple stalkers and an Archon derping around. This is now opening up the opportunity, though, for the Terran army to move across. I do really like this observer positioning, so he actually sees exactly what he's playing against. Orbital command is not going to go down just yet. We really need to recall this army. You're not going to be able to outrun that Terran force. There is a High Templar here. Now it's got plenty of energy. You know what? I was making fun of this bad boy, but he might just give us the Golden Storm. Not if you walk in that direction. Why did you... Hello? Storm? Oh! Golden Storm! There it is, man. Still a little bit of a funky situation, though, because these units are trickling one at a time. Oh, no. This is one of the ugliest fights I've seen in a while, but there's another storm. Another storm! My God! Dude, the High Templar, this guy even too cool to look at the explosions as he decided to turn his back to that fight. He's got 8 confirmed kills, though, and that is a ton of damage being done by just a small group of Templar. Base on the right side of the map did, by the way, survive, because one mule was dropped and has been tasked with repairing it back up. Command center on the left, though, has not been spotted, right? And this has really been the lifeline here of Dokko, who's been happily mining resources here on the left. Actually, sick game. This might be top 10 Platinum League games ever. Like, it's such a sick game, actually. Like, we're 22 minutes in, nobody knows what's going on. It started with a planetary fortress rush. There it is. Oh my God, I think this binary is actually doing it. Oh my God, he is. You know my favorite part about this? Generally with the viewer-submitted games, yeah, you're not wrong. Generally with the viewer-submitted games, it's the players that do the crazy strategies that submit this replay, right? Tips for fighting Storm? Ghosts? Splitting your units? Anyways, I really love the fact that this game started off with a planetary fortress rush, but Dokko is probably not the one that submitted this replay. So he's probably the one that, you know, just goes for this strategy on the ladder. Ghost, I guess. I usually lose to that. Like, my whole army died after one storm. Well, I mean, to be fair, the storm was coming in from a mile away. But yeah, the whole build order in general was a little bit... I'm third-wheeling this pretty hard. Am I not? Anyway. The whole early game build order was, yeah, messing up any ghost transitions in the later stages of the game too, right? There is usually a point where you want to be switching to ghosts. Thank you so much for this game. Yo, there's so much politeness going on so far in these games, right? I mean, highlight of my day? Aw, game of the... Okay, well, now you're pushing it. It's way too early to call this game of the year, this binary. I mean, it is, as of me recording this, early January. Have a nice day, good sir. I almost feel like this is almost... Like, it's a little bit of bait, because Dokko actually still has mining over here on the left side. And... Oh, I thought for a second he said thanks for the tips too. But that's not what he said. He said thanks for the tips too! Exclamation point. I almost thought it was bait for a moment here, because there's a lot of mining still happening on the map that this binary did not know of. Plus, of course, there, you know, I've had that happen in my own games, okay, where someone is talking to me, and they're talking to me, and they're talking to me, and then they suddenly show up with an army. Not today. Not in this game. Anyways, amazing match. Hope you enjoyed it. If you are new here, I upload new videos pretty much every day, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. But for now, take care, stay awesome, and I'll see you once again in the next one.